previously on the Tech Unravel. That's it for now. Hopefully I can come up with a follow-up video on what to do with the white Nintendo DS Lite. As I said, I will either try to repair it or creating a Nintendo DS Macro. So here's the thing. In the end, I did manage to make a Gameboy Macro, but the white DS I used in my previous video had a motherboard issue. But I managed to get my hands on another pink DS Lite, which had other issues, but at least the motherboard was functional. So what you'll see in this video are actually two broken DS Lites that I combined into a functional Gameboy Macro. First of all, I want you to know that this isn't a step-by-step on how to create a Gameboy Macro, as there are so many tutorials on YouTube, and I'm also not responsible for any damage you may do to your console. Also, this is actually my first time trying soldering, so I apologize for the poor work that I'm doing. Here is the end result with the resistor, so time to move to the next step. Once I put the BIOS board back, and also the screen, time to test it out and see if the DS is working without the second screen. And there you go, this is functional. Please don't mind the broken screen as I will use a different one, but at least we know that this is working. The next step is to make sure that the Game Boy will actually use the bottom screen and not the top one. And also that once I insert a Game Boy Advance game into the system, then it will boot straight up as it will do on a Game Boy Advance. This step is not mandatory, but while I was trying to do a bit more soldering, I wanted to remove also the DS cartridge slot because I wanted to put the speaker in this place as it allows us for more room. Once that is done, then it's time to solder the speaker. This looks good, so now it's time to test it out, so we put everything back together, and don't worry, this isn't the final result, this is just to test out that everything is working. Time to put the battery on and see if the speaker is working. That works great, so it's time to test also the cartridge slot. So as you can see, the system goes right to the game as we enable this in the system settings. After a very poor gameplay of Tony Hawk, we can finally confirm that the system is working as we expected. Okay, so the system is functional, but I don't really like how it looks like. So that's why I'm using the rest of the parts from the previous DS Lite and I'm trying to combine both of them into one single device. That also means that I'm trying to use different buttons and different cases from the other DS Lite and I'm trying to make this look as good as possible. Once I chose every part that I want to use for the final result, now it's time to clean everything up and put it back together. I'll use the front white plate, the back pink plate, and also different buttons. You'll see the end result in a minute. Time to clean everything up with a toothbrush and let it dry for a bit. Now it's time to put everything back together. As you can see, I'm using different colors for the buttons and you'll see why in a minute. Unfortunately, the speaker did manage to pull off, but I will add it back later. I didn't really know what to do with the acrylic rod that most people use and I couldn't find one in Romania, so I decided to use this regular pencil that has Romania written on it and I think the result looks pretty good. Now that everything is clean, it's time to put it together and see the end result. We're putting also the battery and the battery cover back. And this is how it looks like. Time to remove the protective film from the screen. And here is the end result. As you can see, I chose the white plate but also the pink buttons. The A and B buttons are also pink because these are the functional ones for the Game Boy Advance. And then X and Y, I kept them white as the front plate just because we are not really using them with the Game Boy Advance settings. Now it's time to test also a game, and I have here a fake Pokemon game that I featured in my previous videos. As you can see, the system goes straight to the game as we enabled this already in the settings, and the game works very well. All the buttons seems to be working fine, also the shoulder buttons. So in the end, this is a complete functional Game Boy Macro. So this is the end result, and I gotta say that I'm pretty happy with how it looks like. In the end, I didn't need any additional components as I took everything that I needed from the broken DS Lites, and by combining the two colors, I think the end result looks very good. So this is a console that I will keep in my collection as I really wanted the Game Boy Macro to be part of this collection. Please let me know down in the comments if you have any questions about this project, and I'll try my best to answer to your questions. That's it for now, this is the Tech Unravel, and I'll catch you in the next video.